Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2007 Disney Pixar animated feature film Ratatouille. This is co-directed by Brad Bird and Jan, I forget his last name. Patton Oswalt plays Remy the rat. He has an illustrious family on a farm, countryside in France, and his family they're rats, so they're just greedier and greedier, and starts to steal more stuff from the old lady, who then finds their nest above, and they have to escape in the pouring rain. So then they all take various objects from the house as escape boats, go into the sewers. They get separated. Remy winds up in Paris, France, who he then winds up in a restaurant, Gusteau's restaurant, that he loves Chef Gusteau, because Remy would look at the Chef Gusteau show at the old lady's farmhouse, and Remy wants to cook, because Remy knows the difference between scavenging for trash and actually making something, worth tasting and worthwhile, all of these things. So he goes on to find food at this restaurant. He gets captured. He's supposed to be killed by this character, Linguini, who is a surprise heir to the throne, basically, of Gusteau's restaurant. And Linguini can't kill Remy, so then they actually start working together, and Linguini realizes that Remy can cook, so then Linguini puts Remy in his hat to then control his movements to cook stuff, and then there's this whole scandal, and then there's an editorial review comer, and all these things, right? It all goes to hell, but then it all gets built back up, and it's a beautiful ending of Linguini and Cousteau having their own restaurant run by Remy, and they live happily ever after. So when this came out in 2007, I was 17. I didn't like it when it came out. I was like, okay, it's cute, it's food, whatever. But when I got older, I really liked it because it's more adult, because you cook more when you're an adult to feed yourself, right? So it's like, haha, I learned that from Remy, or like, oh, that's what that is. And a couple of years back, 2018, I want to say, so like three birthdays ago, because my birthday's coming up in March, my family, me, my mom, my dad, my brother, we all made ratatouille from Ratatouille, the way Remy does it. Because ratatouille itself is just like a vegetable stew, but the way Remy did it, he does a deconstructed ratatouille, which means that it's not in a broth base. It's the vegetables are piled on top of each other, and then the broth is just sauce that's just poured around it and dashed on top with a sprig of rosemary on top. So it took hours to make ratatouille from Ratatouille. And then it was a big thing. Binging with Babish is a YouTuber. He did a whole video on making ratatouille from Ratatouille years ago. And then somehow, I don't know how, during the pandemic, TikTok users became obsessed with Ratatouille and wrote a musical based off Ratatouille. And then the musical premiered a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, via the interwebs as a virtual Broadway showing of these different actors and actresses performing the songs that the TikTok users wrote. And it raised $2 million for the Actors Fund, because all these different actors and actresses have been out of work because of the pandemic. I was like, what amazing talent everyone has in order to come together in a viral meme sensation to raise $2 million for people in need. That's incredible. And it's Ratatouille, the TikTok musical. So it's so cool having their own playbill and all these things. And long live the legend of Ratatouille. Ratatouille, the ride, premiered in Disneyland Paris, and then now it's going to the Paris Pavilion in Disney World in Florida. We'll see when that opens. Probably early spring, maybe. End of March, beginning of April, one of those things. But who knows with what the pandemic may bring. So, Ratatouille, 2007 Disney Pixar animated feature film, Disney Plus. Go check it out if you have not watched it. But don't watch it when you're hungry. Because if you're hungry and you're watching it, all hell breaks loose. You're just going to eat everything you possibly can while you watch this and go, food. Because it's a food movie. Good times. Mucho mahalo.